go in and be able to call the main.h function in here. So this is what we're going to print actually, this. So we're going to have something printed in this format, which is here, prints function that prints a square in this format. So question 8, we go in here. Then we go to the favorite, the one that I enjoy most. Oh my god, I love it. Fizzbuzzy. V. Enter. Include. Including main.h for this. So as usual, we need to set it a description as well. So our description is to print a square, and then we have our what we call the what I will call the what the argument is set to an int of size. So here this will print a square of a character, a square from character hash. Then add size, which is our argument, so we need to describe it. So this is the size of the square. This is the size of the square. Finished. So we finish this up, then we can start with our void function, print underscore square, which is taking an int type of size as an argument. Oh, sorry. Okay, now the int, we're going to give it a height h, and we give it a width w. Oh, sorry about this. H, comma, and w here, w. Okay, in Francais. If the same, if size is greater than 0, if that's the case, we set a for function or method. For, we start with h set to 0, h set to 0 if h is less or equal to size, then increment h. Then we set a for method for width, initially set to 0. Okay, then also if width is less or equal to, now the height h, increment w. Should have been that, but let's set both of them to size. Sorry about this. This will bring a bug. All of them set to size. So size is the determinant value. Sorry about that. I'm beginning to wake up. Wake up. Okay, so If that's since that's the case, after setting all of these values, then we can now order it to the character that it should print. So the character it's going to print is a hashtag. Okay, so now here, once that's done, we need to give it an if statement of minusing. So now if our height is assigned size minus 1, I see here bug induced. Okay, so bug is gone. If that's the case, then we're going to tell the program, now you know what, continue. Otherwise, just print a new line. Otherwise, just put a character or print a new line. Oh, not that one. Print a new line, and after that, the new line it has created. Oh, I don't want you to make noise for me. The new line it has printed is for the next set of the hashtag to be printed. Jump from this to that one, then also now this one here is saying that print complete, start from a new line for the next set. Yeah, so this is the code. Here, say this, the first is jump this line and then start from a new line. So the first part creates a space, so the next new line, then a space, then like that. So it's having two lines being created, new line gaps being created here. That's exactly what these two gentlemen are doing, this and this. Okay, so this is the code. So we save the code, then let's call Betty and see what Betty tells us. Are we good to go, Betty? Betty says there's a trailing error on line 12. Okay, we have a space. A trailing statement should be on the next. A trailing statement should be on the next. Okay, so let's check here. I'm going to set the numbers so that we can be able to view. Set number 17. Oh, here we go. And number 12. At number 12, we are not supposed to have this semicolon is here. Oh, okay. Didn't give the command of editing. Perfect. So those are not supposed to be there because we're not finishing. Yeah, so trailing statements should be on next line. So we're breaking it as well. So now let's tell Betty to check again if we are okay. Betty, the best friend, has confirmed that we are indeed on the right direction. So ladies and gentlemen, welcome once again at Genius Villagers. Bro, now why are you looking at like that? This is the most interesting part of the whole code, man. Fizzbuzz. Those who have studied electricity, you've talked about there is a, how do we call it? There is a conductor or a detector that is used to detect voice. You all have it in your laptops and what? There is that thing that is buzzing always around, zzz, like that. So fizzbuzz is what we're going to write right now. I love this thing. This thing is just interesting. It's just like an angel flying from the heaven to the heaven. I don't know what I said, so forget about it. And let's focus on to this. Otherwise, I will suspend you out of my class. Okay, so here we go. So, question 9. Fizzbuzz test is an interview question designed to help filter out 99.5% of programming job candidates who can't seem to program their way out of a weight paper bag. Write a program that prints the numbers from 1 to 100 followed by a new line, but for multiples of 3, print fizz instead of number and multiples. Print fizz instead of the number, and the multiples of 5 print buzz. For numbers which are multiples of both 3 and 5, fizz buzz. So an example here, what I can tell you is that, so what we are going to say is that if the multiple is equal to 3 and is equal to that of 5, then I'm going to print this. This is an interesting part here. So if statement is going to flow with the for statements for this, set this to that. Now, if this is that, do this. Otherwise, if, else if, do this. Else if, do this. And otherwise, otherwise break out the program and kaboom, it's done. Very, very interesting. Okay, so now what do? Are we going to use main dot or something? Let's see what the instruction tells us here. Here, for this program, each word or each number or word should be separated by a space. Perfect. We need a space there. So we have a chance to print a space here, and you are allowed to use the standard library. Now, main.h, bye-bye. We will get you back in the next one. So vi this time, all I need to have is just the file name, which is here. Okay, who do we call now? This time we're calling Mr. stdio.h. That's the one we're calling. Let's give it a description here. What do we do? What are we did? We're saying here the main part of this is to this prints the numbers from 1 to 100, but the multiples of 3 multiples of 3, fizz is printed. This is printed in place of the number